In this chapter, we will learn about hammers and inverting hammers. What is a hammer? A hammer is a candlestick which has small body and long tail with very less amount of wick. So this hammer will act as positive trend indicator. There is one more candlestick pattern which is very similar to the hammer, that is called as a hangman. Hangman will have small body and it will have a long tail. It will not have any wick as that of your hammer. So what is the main difference between the hammer and hangman? Wick is the only difference between the hammer and hangman. Both will act as positive trend indicator. Here what you have to see is length of the tail and the length of the body. Color of the body doesn't give any information here. So when this hammer and hangman will act as positive trend indicator, as I already told in the previous chapter, the latest action will have highest priority. So what is the latest action happening here? The stock is opening at one particular point of time. It is making one certain low and after that it is increasing. So increasing is the latest action and it is closing at some particular point here. Since increasing is the latest action, buyers are strong here and it will act as positive trend indicator. Similarly, hangman also, the stock is opening at one particular price, it is decreasing, it is attaining one low value and again it is increasing and it is closing at some particular point. So here also the tail is greater than 2 times of your body. In hangman also, tail is greater than 2 times of the body. So what are the rules of reversal? If you see hammer or hangman, when you have to think like stock price or index is going to increase. When you have to think this hammer or hangman has to form after continuous red candlesticks. After that, if you see any hammer or hangman, that acts as positive trend indication for you. After that, second green candlestick will act as a trend confirmation. Always remember, confirmations are very important in the stock market for taking any entries. If you wait for the confirmations and confirmation also suggests your entry signal, then your accuracy rate will be more. So you can take your entry at the end of the second green candlestick. This hammer or hangman, green body or red body, it doesn't matter. Only the length of the tail should be greater than 2 times of the body. And the next confirmation candlestick should be green candlestick. Then only you have to take your entry at the end of this candlestick. And when you have to take your exit, you have to take your exit at the next resistance level whenever you are buying the stock at the confirmation candlestick. Third type of one candlestick pattern is inverted hammer or shooting star. What will happen in inverted hammer or shooting star? There will be very lengthier wick and very small tail. If the length of the wick is greater than 2 times the length of the body and if there is a small tail, then it is called as a inverting hammer. And if the length of the wick is greater than 2 times the length of the body, then it is called as shooting star. Here also latest action has to be given highest priority. If you are feeling confused to identify what is a hammer or what is an inverted hammer, there is no need to remember their technical names, just understand the concept. So as I already told, latest action will have highest priority. So whenever the stock is opening at the particular price, if it is increasing and attaining the high value, and again if it is falling and closing near to the opening price, then falling is the latest action. Since falling is the latest action, it will have more priority. So sellers are strong and it will act as negative trend indication. So what are the rules for the reversal based on your inverted hammer or shooting star? Your wick has to be greater than 2 times of the body and this inverted hammer or shooting star has to form after continuous green candlesticks. Since this is a negative trend indication, you have to wait for the confirmation. What will be the confirmation for the negative trend indication? Next candlestick should be red candlestick. So that will act as a confirmation for your entries. So immediately after seeing the inverted hammer or shooting star, don't try to short the stock. You wait for the confirmations and you can short a stock at the end of this confirmation candlestick with target as next support level. This is about inverted hammer or shooting star. For inverted hammer, there will be a small tail will be there, and for shooting star, there will not be any tail. Now we will try to observe some of the examples in the real-time chart. Now we will see some of the examples of hammer and inverting hammer. First, we will take TCS chart in 1 day time frame. Just try to observe in this chart whether you are going to get any hammer or inverting hammer. First of all, here if you see, there is one inverting hammer here. But after forming this inverting hammer, what is the confirmation candlestick? Since inverting hammer is a negative trend indicator, confirmation candlestick is the red candlestick. But here if you see, the next candlestick is green candlestick. So this you cannot consider. Similarly here also, this also will act as hammer. But what should be the confirmation candlestick after forming a hammer? Hammer acts as a positive trend indicator. So next green candlestick is the confirmation candlestick. So you have to wait for the green candlestick in order to take your buy entry after seeing this hammer. So see here, next one is this candlestick is looking like a shooting star. So that's why shooting star will act as a negative trend indicator. Why? Because here falling is the latest action happening in this shooting star. So next confirmation candlestick is a red candlestick. So you can short a stock after seeing this shooting star and the confirmation candlestick. So if you have shorted TCS at this particular point, what is the price? 3140 is the shorting price in the TCS with first target. What is the first target? As I already told, next support level will be your first target. So 3112 is the first target and 2880 is the second target. So immediately after shorting a stock, after seeing the confirmation red candlestick at 3142, its second target has reached, that is 2880. So what is the total profit here? Total profit is 260 points, which is almost 8% gains in TCS within 2 weeks of time. So after shorting a stock at this particular point, where are the next trend reversal indicators? This is almost looking like a doji. Doji acts as a trend reversal indicator. So next one is hammer. This is one trend reversal indicator. This is also one more trend reversal indicator. But after forming a doji, it has not formed a strong green candlestick. So you can carry forward your trade if you have shorted at this particular point. So after forming this hammer and doji, then next candlestick is a solid red candlestick. So you can carry forward your trade. Again, one shooting star has formed here. Shooting star will act as negative trend indicator. You can continue your shorting position whatever you have entered here. Next is a solid red candlestick. You can continue your trade. Next is again a shooting star here. Shooting star will act as negative trend indicator. You can continue your trade. And next is big red candlestick. This big red candlestick will act as negative trend indicator. Again, it has touched your next support level. So this is your first target and this is your second target. By this time you would have got around 8% profit in TCS, and after that it has formed one doji, perfect doji it has formed. After that it has formed one green candlestick. So after shorting a TCS at this particular point of time, you have to exit after seeing this doji. Otherwise, in worst case, you have to exit here. Why? Because it has again regained its resistance level. So there is a chance for the stock to increase from this level. So in worst case, you have to exit at this particular point. So if you have shorted at this particular point at 3140, this should be your worst case exit. So here also you have got around 130 points of profit, which is around 4.5% returns in TCS in downward direction. Similarly, next you see here there is one doji after a green candlestick and it has formed one inverting hammer. So this will act as a negative trend indicator. Why? Because your inverting hammer will act as a negative trend indicator or bearish indicator. So this is a doji and this is a confirmation candlestick, or otherwise if you consider this inverting hammer as your indication and just check tomorrow how the TCS will close. If TCS will close with a red candlestick, then TCS might fall further in near future. You can short TCS with first target as this support and second target as this support. So this is about inverting hammer and shooting star. Now we will try to observe about hammer and hangman. Now I have considered Bajaj Finance chart here in 1 hour time frame. Just try to observe whether any hammers or inverting hammers are there here. Here there is a shooting star, but shooting star will act as a negative trend indicator. If it is forming after continuous green candlesticks, then only you have to consider this shooting star for your entry decisions, but it has formed after continuous red candlesticks, so avoid this shooting star. After forming this shooting star, next what is the confirmation candlestick? Red is the confirmation candlestick, but here it has formed green candlestick. So that's why you should not consider this inverting hammer or shooting star for taking your entry decisions. Next, you try to observe here. There is one hammer. Since this is a hammer, the stock has increased after forming this hammer. Hammer acts as a positive trend indicator. There is a confirmation candlestick also. So you can take your buy entry at 5418 approximately. If you take your buy entry at 5418, it has increased till 5619. Within how many days? Within 2 days. Within 2 days, we got around 4% gains from 5415 to next resistance level 5617. So 200 points profit. 200 points profit is approximately equal to 4% if you consider this as your exit. Okay, why you have to consider this as your exit? Why? Because it is an inverting hammer. Inverting hammer acts as a negative trend indicator. So you have to exit after seeing this inverting hammer, or otherwise in worst case, if the support has broken after seeing this confirmation candlestick, you have to exit your buy entry whenever you are exiting at this particular point. And this also will act as inverting hammer and confirmation candlestick. Here you can short the stock at 5600 with first target as 5400. Here also you may get around 4% gains. So in this way you have to use your hammers, hangmans, inverting hammer and shooting star. Always remember, if you are facing confusion in remembering these candlestick patterns with their names, just try to observe their action. Depending upon their action, you can able to find out whether it is a bullish trend or bearish trend. Here, what is the latest action? Increasing is the latest action, so it is a bullish trend. Here, what is the latest action? First, it has increased and then it has decreased and closed at this particular price. So, decreasing is the latest action. So, it will act as a negative trend indicator. So, this is about one candlestick patterns. In previous chapter, we learnt about doji, gravestone doji, dragonfly doji, and traditional or long-legged doji. In this chapter, we learnt about hammers, hangmans, inverting hammer, and shooting star, and how to take your trades using these hammers and inverting hammers we learned.